Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, On Liking Boys and Loving Men. On Liking Boys and Loving Men. I felt like this was a good topic to talk about because I do have individuals that come to my network who are young ladies as well as boys. And some of these people who happen to come across these messages find out much about family, about faith, and a number of other things dealing with life. But this particular topic is important because I have 4 sons, and eventually these 4 sons are going to be someone's boyfriend or husband. Now, the scary part about all of this is that if we don't do well as parents, then we don't know what we're putting out here. We don't know how that child is going to turn out. We don't know if that boy is going to eventually become a man. That is why it is so crucial to look toward the scriptures as well as other wise books when it comes to parenting, so that our children are not menaces to society. Now, this business of liking boys and loving men, I will tell you that boys make up a big part of a young girl's life. She likes boys. She finds them nice, sweet, crazy, wild. She has numerous descriptions for those boys that she likes. Sometimes, though, this boy love or boy like becomes overwhelming in a little girl's mind. She starts thinking about the boy a little too much. She tries to do things to get the boy's attention. She wants him for herself. She may even fight for the boy. For some, they'll say, why so much love for the boy, so much like for him? What is going on? She's practicing. She's practicing on becoming a woman. And part of becoming a woman is having a partner. So she learns how to nurture by the way she talks and behaves around the boy. The boy feels down. She wants to lift him up. She wants to talk to him. She wants to comfort him. Some girls will comfort in an innocent way. They just simply ask questions and they listen. Others do a little more than that. They want to hold hands. They want to rub backs. They want to kiss on the cheek or the lips. And then there are those who want to give their bodies to these boys. Depending on her experience, things that she knows or doesn't know will determine this nurturing aspect of who she is and this practicing that she likes to do on boys. The woman does something similar, but she has already had much experience, much practice, and so forth. So her way of nurturing is, of course, quite mature. Now, if the girl has been watching the mature woman and she has provided her with much, then that would make sense why she approaches a relationship with a boy in a way that an older woman might. Some boys are taken back by this. They can't stand it. They're like, I don't believe how she's behaving with me. And that is because they are not mature enough to handle that sort of thing. And most likely there is no one around that is really explaining things in such a way where their minds could handle that sort of thing. And then, of course, if they haven't had any experience, they definitely will not know how to respond to this very fast, as some of us would like to say, young lady or girl. But she is practicing with this boy that she likes, and she is doing what she can to get his attention. She's changing her appearance. She's talking a certain way. She's trying to be something to him that will make him want her. But there's a time and there's a place for all things. And if the parent is not involved in that girl's life like they're supposed to be, then the girl is going to put all of her effort into trying to win a boy over. Fathers play a vital role in a child's upbringing. Fathers are significant to a little girl. It starts off with her wanting his attention, wanting him to sit down and talk to her and play with her, wanting his eye contact, wanting a high five or a shake of his hand or even a hug or a kiss, something that says that she's all right with dad, that dad approves of her. But the father who is more concerned about making money, about doing what pleases him, the father who is more concerned about how his family makes him feel, what his reputation is like amongst others, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have patience. He doesn't have energy. He doesn't pay attention to those details that show that that little girl is crying inside, that that little girl wants very much for her dad to say that I approve of you, that I love you, that I care about you. But what dad won't do, because dad is ill-equipped, because he has his childhood woes, because he refuses to change, that's okay, because there's the boys. There's the boys, and she may have been like I was when I was little, just writing a bunch of stuff about boys. How this boy you like much, and this boy you like little, and you want to see this boy, and you hope that this boy talks to you, and you want this boy to be a part of your life, and you'll fight this one and that one for this boy. Lord Jesus. There's a boy love. There's a boy love when dad isn't showing love. Now, there could be a boy like, of course, whether dad shows the affection, whether he's attentive or not. There's always going to be the boy like. That's just natural. God will put some things in perspective for us if we have a relationship with him. But let's just be honest. How many little girls really have a personal relationship with Christ? And how many parents are really sitting down and talking to them about their heavenly father when the earthly father has failed them? Really? Some of these women have spent much time praying for man, for house, for car. Oh, these women who were once little girls, many of them had their woes with their fathers. And so while the mom is focused on the house and the car and the man, can I tell you that all of that praying that she did, she ends up being a slave to those things and to the people that she wanted so desperately to be a part of her life. For the mother who wanted the baby, she got the baby. And so the baby is the one that is causing her to think twice about a number of things. Her personal relationship with Christ, her money, her partner, her everything. What she wanted when she was a little girl ends up taking on a whole new meaning once she becomes a woman. Liking the boy, wanting to be a part of the boy's world and all of that. As she grows up and she sees things for what they really are, she sees that the boy isn't really the kind of boy that she really wants to connect to. And she sees how her parents are reacting when she talks about the boy, and she is experiencing so much related to the boy, and it's not worth all of the drama, the lying and the conniving and the being sneaky and so forth, that the boy doesn't mean as much anymore. And so her focus changes. And it becomes about schoolwork and being a success and building up one's self-esteem and doing great things in society. When things are in order, there is less chaos. But when things are out of alignment, there is much chaos. Hormones even get affected by chaos in the home. Dad leaves, boyfriend shows up, and innately there is this strange distraction or strange attraction, depending on who this person is that mom brings into the household. She doesn't quite know what to think of that man. But mom has to be there to guide her and train her and show her how to behave, how to act ladylike, dare I say it, in a society where women and girls want to dominate boys and men. In a society where many don't want to read the word of the Lord because there's a lot of sexist stuff in it. And they don't want to sit in churches where there's a lot of sexist stuff still taking place. So no thank you to religion. I will be my own God and I will do what I want to do. Well, you cannot battle spiritual issues. Spiritual issues when you have no spiritual backbone. And this is why many are so ignorant. So ignorant to who they are as girls and as women. We are not just mind and body. We are spiritual too. And you can always see a person or even experience their vibe when they are void of spirituality, when they have no concept or understanding of a heavenly creator. Instead, the boy becomes the God in that little girl's life. The man becomes the God in that woman's life. Oh, she says that she dominates things. She says that she has everything under control. She says a whole lot, but for some, we can clearly see that she's in love and worships and does all for her boyfriends, for her male friend, for her fiance or husband. He dominates while she pretends as if she's running things in society. On liking boys, on loving men. How many do you know around you has such a reverence, such an admiration, or in lust or in like or in love with the opposite sex, to the point that it sickens you? Or they're so caught up in all of the chaos and the foolishness with the opposite sex that you don't even know who this person really is, because every time you turn around, she's talking about a boy or her man. On liking boys and loving men. Some of you all are struggling with this because you have made that boy or that man a significant part of you. So much, in fact, that you don't even know who you are. You have even taken on the man's last name. Or for some of you girls, you have even fantasized about having that boy's last name. A righteous, loving God doesn't want you to be consumed with a flawed human being. A righteous, loving God does not want you to give up your soul, if you will, for another human being. When you find yourself thinking and praying and wishing and hoping, and all of this has a lot to do with that boy or that man, realize that A piece of you is being given away each and every time. Because for every time that you're thinking about someone else, you're not thinking about yourself. And isn't that why that person was attracted to you in the first place? Was because you were a whole human being, that you had independent thought and emotion. So then why is it that you have allowed yourself to be encompassed by so much dealing with that man, that you are so intertwined dealing with that boy, that you can't see straight because of that human being that you admire so much? So much time being wasted. So many things that you could be doing. So much that you could learn about yourself if you didn't spend so much time dealing with that man or that boy, putting him on that pedestal, giving God just a little bit or nothing at all. A God who created you, a God who has a plan for your life if you seek him, a God that has wise words, a God that has done much in society, good, bad, and otherwise, depending on who you speak to. But he is a God that is powerful, a God that is loving, a God that can give you the desires of your heart, a God that can touch you in places that a man or a boy could never touch you. Boys and men don't have supernatural powers. Oh, they're nice and they're good and they're fun and they're friendly, but they're not God. And when that boy dies, or when that boy becomes ill, or when that boy doesn't want you anymore, or when that boy doesn't like you, or when that boy is messing around with this one and that one, what do you have? What do you have? Yourself crying in a corner somewhere? For some of you all permanently scarred in your mind, body, and spirit as a result of putting so much faith in a boy, in a man. Some of you all ran clear away from boys and men and fell into the arms of girls and women because you just couldn't take the pain. Time and time again, giving your heart to someone who just used and abused you. You said, I don't want to deal with it, and you ran. God sees you. He hears you. He says, reconcile to him. For some of you all who have never even experienced God, he says, come to him and I'll give you rest. Come to me and I will uplift your burdens. Come to me and I will be the father that you never had. I will give you affection in a supernatural way. I will love you in a way that a man cannot love you. I will put the person in your life that needs to be there. I will get the toxic ones out if you trust in me, if you pray to me, if you keep a relationship with me, if you keep your focus on me. I will do the things that you want. If you can listen and obey, not just read the word, but do as I say. Oh, don't let hormones get in the way. Don't let hormones get in the way of wise teaching and preaching. Don't let hormones take you off into an alleyway of life that you're not quite ready for. Don't let hormones rush you into a place that you don't want to be in. Don't let hormones create another life in this world that you know you don't want. Don't let hormones dictate to you whether or not a boy or a man is for you. You know, hormones will rise up within us for a temporal period, and then before long, we don't really like what we did. We don't really like the person that we're with. We just don't. Hormones play tricks on you. Get your hormones in check. Take the necessary medicine that you need. Pray, fast, do what you can to put the hormones in check. Talk to some women, some girls who are going through. Talk about your bodily changes. Mention these things to your doctor. Don't let hormones dictate your life. Too many girls and women have allowed just that. And they have experienced much as a result. Boys that are listening to this message, men that are listening, do some research when it comes to girls and women. Go beyond just what your mother and your grandmother said, or what you saw on television, or what you read, or what your boy said that some girl did. Do your research and understand the makeup of why girls do what they do, why they say what they say, why they approach you in a way that they approach you, why they are ready to fight someone or fight you because, once again, you lied, you cheated, you thought you were the player and all of that. Get some understanding. Learn how to operate when it comes to dealing with girls and women, because there is a way to operate with them. If your daddy hasn't shown you that, then there's your heavenly Father that will guide you if you trust in him, if you love him, if you appreciate him, if you listen and obey. He will direct your path. He will show you how to connect in a right way with a female that doesn't involve all of that practice play. Wanting to touch and kiss and hug and all of that. Because you can't do that all the time in the real world. And over time, the body gets tired of it anyway. So you've got to have something more besides touching, hugging, and kissing. You've got to have a mind that is attractive too. You've got to have a bank account that's attractive too. Because it does cost money to keep a good woman fed. It does cost money to keep an attractive woman attractive. It does cost money to keep an intelligent woman intelligent. It costs money. It costs money to have a helpmate. And if you don't have the bank, then you shouldn't be looking. If you don't have the understanding when it comes to women, and you find yourself easily irritated and impatient, or if you are that woman or girl that finds that boys and men discuss you and all of that, then you don't have any business connecting yourself with that individual, because all you're doing is going to create nothing more than heartache for yourself, heartache for him, and then of course there's families that get involved too if you hurt their babies. So it's always best just to get yourself together, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then, once you've gotten those things together, then you can think about connecting with someone on an emotional and spiritual and physical level. Some of you all are rocking the boat by doing and saying things behind closed doors and elsewhere. And you're creating problems for yourself as a result. Being sneaky, lying, covering up, having much secrets. I will tell you that even if you stop doing it, depending on how bad the things are that you're into, you will still wear much difficulty in your mind, body, and spirit as a result. It takes a long time to get over some things. The sooner you get out of them, the better. Because some of those dysfunctional types of things that one does ends up in the relationship later on and will pass down onto your children. Things like drug addictions, porn addictions, things like lying and cheating and stealing. If you're lying now to cover up for a man or for a boy, it doesn't go away easily later on in life. If you're being promiscuous now, here, there, and everywhere with this one and that one now, it doesn't go away easily later on in life. It will cost you much money and much time and much heartache. So get all of these things together in your mind, your body, and spirit now. And put some things in check if you notice yourself in this audio. And I thank you so much for listening.